Hi, today I'd like to provide a quick overview of planning. What does planning mean? How does a planning system work? And to start to discuss how both spatial planning and strategic planning can come together to help communities and local authorities or local councils to achieve the net zero ambitions that are being set out across Scotland. It's worth reminding ourselves as we explore the homes and community strand that when we use the term communities, we are allowing ourselves to focus on both people and place. So it includes community-led activities, but it also extends beyond into activity and services that take place within a community. So education, healthcare, art as examples. So what do we mean by planning? The new definition of planning included in the Planning Act makes it clear that it is the management of land and building in the long-term public interest. Planning is concerned with where development should happen, where it should not, and how these decisions interact and impact on the well-being of people and the planet. The planning system in Scotland sets out the process for undertaking this role, and this process is in the middle of reform and change. A significant part of this change has been to move the objective of planning policy away from the focus it's had in the past on the delivery of economic growth to now take equal account of how it impacts on climate, on biodiversity, on health inequalities, and housing our aging population. This ask was embedded in the Planning Act, and planners will be guided on how to actually do this by the revised National Planning Framework, which is currently being prepared. As an example, we'll be discussing the 20-minute neighborhood approach over this weekend. And this approach, as an example, could do much to give planning authorities more confidence to implement and deliver on both place and well-being outcomes. Now, there are two key parts to the planning system. Development plans are required by legislation to be prepared by every council. They set a vision for spatial planning and how it contributes to meeting the council's priorities. As these priorities change to more emphasis on climate and health and inequalities, so does the local development plan. Development management is the process of deciding planning applications. These decisions are led by the policy already set out and already consulted upon in the local development plans. And this brings me to local place plans. As mentioned, each local authority prepares a local development plan to inform planning application decisions. However, it might not fully express the detailed needs and the complexities and the nuances of any particular community. So the idea for local place plans is that they enable a community to prepare a plan focused specifically on their local area, capitalizing on local knowledge. It's a new type of plan that gives people an opportunity to develop proposals, specific proposals for development and use of land in the place where they live. It is intended that local place plans will stimulate and encourage debate about the future of a place. It enables communities to focus on their aspirations as well as on their needs. And I want to end by quoting the Community Empowerment Act. It says, Scotland's communities are a rich source of energy, of creativity and talent. They're made up of people with rich and diverse backgrounds who each have something to contribute to make Scotland flourish. Central and local government needs to help communities to work together and release that potential to create a more prosperous and fairer Scotland.